Hello Scrappy friends, we are back at it today on our third video in our Halloween edition of Keeping It Simple. This will be our last video in this little mini series. I hope that you are enjoying it. And we are going to work on the third sketch today. If this is your first time here, we are working on these 3 simple sketches to help us create our 3 simple layouts. And if you're looking for this handout, you can go over to my website right over here, and you can find a printable PDF that you can print off and follow along. So we are here at sketch number 3 today, and I'm just going to talk about it briefly before we get into our layout today. So this one is a simple one, but it does require a lot of paper. You'll see here I have 2 pieces of the green and 2 pieces of the purple, as well as a scrap of the polka dot. Because if you look here, it's kind of almost a frame style foundation going around. So that's where I'm going to put the green paper. Now I will be able to gut some of it out right here, and I will be doing that, but you don't have to. So it really depends on how much you want to keep it simple. If you're okay with it, you can just continue on and put your second layer down, which is right here, and that's a 10 by 11 inch piece of paper. So it's a pretty big chunk, and that's where I'll be bringing in the purple. So let's look at some more of this sketch. We have up here where the big circles are, which represents a border of some kind, whether it's a border punch out or a border making cartridge or a pre-made border, or make a border, which is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to make a very simple border to use up here at the top. And right here where the little circles are, that represents another border. You could either bring in a border making cartridge or maybe a border sticker, something probably on the thinner side. So a bigger area up here and then a smaller one right there. After that, this gets really simple because then we just bring our photos in. And here they're using 6 photos, and they're keeping them all in the 4x6 scale. 2 verticals, 1 on each side, and then 4 horizontal ones right here in the middle. Now, to get my photos to fit into this sketch, I will be making a change over here to page 2. And then you just embellish wherever you would like and however much you would like. They did a spot here and then a diagonal one up here. But I'm not sure where my sketch is going to take me yet. So come along, we'll go ahead and jump right in and we'll get going. So the first thing that I want to do is to create my border that I'm going to have at the top of my layout. And for that, I'm going to bring in my ever favorite poinsettia border making cartridge. I love this one. You know, I feel that this is not just for Christmas layouts, and I'm hoping that today, once I use it on this Halloween page, that you're going to agree with me. So let's go ahead. I'm going to punch out 2. This is an edge punch, and it's going to stay attached to the paper until I punch it out. And that's going to be important for me today for what I want to do to create my border. So but I am going to punch out on both sides just to save myself some time, and then I'll be back to trim it off the paper. Okay, so now I want to trim it off. I'm going to trim this down to a 2.5 inch wide. This is what I was talking about, how it's the edge punch, and I want to have a bigger base here than I normally have. So I'm going to do 2.5 inches, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and there we go. And now this is where I want to bring in the polka dot paper. I love this colorful, playful piece of paper, but I do want to just use a small amount of it. So I'm going to trim this at 1 3/4 inches. And I'm going to need 2 of those, 1 for each of my borders. And then I'm going to just layer it right on here. I want just a small amount showing at the bottom. In fact, I'm going to trim these down. There we go. I just want a little more of the black paper exposed down here. So I'm going to change that one to 1.5 inches, and the same thing on this one. This is going to be my part of my very simple border. So I'm going to get this adhered and get my pages out, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my border adhered down, and I've already taken the step and trimmed this center piece down to 10 by 11, and it's going 11 widthwise and 10 height if you're following along. And I'm bringing this down to about the 1.5 inch line down from the top, and then up from the bottom about 1/2 inch. Okay, those measurements don't really mean a lot. I think it's just going to make my border stand out, have more room at the top. Okay, so I'll do the same thing on the other page, and this is what it's going to look like. I haven't yet gutted this out, but you can see I have a big area here that I can gut that piece out and save for a future layout. So let me bring my border in, and what it has in the sketch is it has the border going right up to the edge, so I will need to trim this if I want, or you can have it running all the way to the edge, which looks pretty nice as well. And then I'll do one on the other side, and it's going to look like that. For my border that I'm going to bring in down here, I'm going to bring in this jack-o'-lantern border sticker, and I'm going to put it right down here at the bottom of my border that I created. So it'll look like this, and it will cover up that little black line, but that's okay. You can also bring it up here if you wanted to have a little bit of the black line showing. So I think that's going to be super cute, super quick, and super simple, right? Quick border, add a little bit of bling, and we'll be ready to go. Let me put this aside for a moment. I'm not quite ready to use this. And I want to bring in my photos so you can see how I'm going to change up my photos a little bit. So I have some jack-o'-lantern making photos, and this is kind of bittersweet little story for me today, because this was the last year. This was 2017, the last year that my kids all carved pumpkins, or at least carved them as a family event. And so it's kind of sad when you see like this is coming to an end at some point. So let's see, I'm going to put this one here off to the side like they have in the sketch. And then I have two horizontal ones of my son, and he's playing with the pumpkin guts. See, some things never change. And then what the sketch has us doing is putting the other vertical off over here, and then two horizontal photos here, but I didn't have that many. But what I did have is I have some photos of outside looking at their pumpkins in the dark, and then this is what you're seeing. So I thought that these were super cute photos. You can't really see the pumpkins, but I think based on everything else, you'll know what it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one and I'm going to scoot it over here because I want it to be next to the photo, these other photos. And then with these, I have a couple options. I'm thinking of coming down here like that and then trimming off. I have a lot of open space on that photo. I can trim it down. And then bringing these down here where they had two horizontal photos and then the journaling area, and then I can put a journaling card here to tell my story and a place to do some big embellishment. So both that would be great. My other option would be to maybe bring these to the side and do something like that, and then I still have a big journaling area as well. But I think I like them all lined up in a row. Maybe do it per child. Oldest, middle, youngest, something like that. And these are 3.5 inch photos. I can trim them a little smaller if I wanted to, but I thought I liked that. So I think I'm gonna go with that and then trim this photo down so it fits here and grab a journaling box for right there. So I have a lot to do. I'm going to gut my paper, adhere the top paper down, adhere my border, apply my border sticker, trim my photo, adhere my photos, And I'll be back. Hold on. I'm back, and that wasn't so bad. I got everything done. I got everything adhered, and I went ahead and adhered my photos down to the page. I'm not going to mat any of these. I have a lot going on with the color already, and I think that the photos don't need any mats on this particular layout. I am ready to do some embellishing. And I'm only going to embellish in 2 spots. I'm going to do one right over here in this area because I have a lot of room. And then one over here in this area because I have a lot of room up here. So for over here, I'm going to bring in this die cut from my die cut machine, and you'll see it has a little bit of stitching on it, just a little bit of an accent, nothing big, not a major change or anything, but I'm gonna I think I'm gonna place it right here because this section right here where there's a lot of transition going on, I feel like I can do that and bring it up into my photo because I have some open area in the photo right there. Gonna use as much as I can from the sticker sheets. I'm doing really good on using up this collection, so I don't have a lot left. But I am going to bring in this jack-o'-lantern because why not? It's so fitting and it matches my border up here. So it's like bringing in a little element from the top. And I don't know if I'm going to go in the center or off to the side because what I next want to bring in is a little title that said pumpkin carving. Again, pretty appropriate for my layout. And let's see, probably come down to here and hanging off the edge a little, so now I know I can probably tuck the little jack-o'-lantern in anywhere around there. Maybe put it at a little bit of an angle. And then from the sticker sheet, I would like to bring in my last spider web. And maybe, let's see, maybe tuck it in over here, coming out from behind the jack-o'-lantern. There, I like that. Now I want to bring in some more color over here. So I'm going to bring back in my tray that I've been using so much of and kind of see what I have left. I'm thinking about some purple. So I have a couple purple things left. I want to go with more of this shade of purple than this one. And maybe not a flower on this layout. So let's try this one. Tuck it in behind there just to bring a little bit of color in and to also help fill in my circle base there. Not that I need to have it all filled in, but yeah, I like that. Then maybe some orange. We have a couple things. I'm thinking of something kind of popping out the side there. More of this shade. I think the firework's going to be too much, so maybe my gum leaf because it looks a little spooky. And maybe tuck it all the way in like that. Yeah, I like that, but let me look at the sticker sheet and see if I have anything else purple. I am saving some things for one more layout coming. Let's try this bat right here. Let's take off the purple scallop and then take the little bat and maybe put it right there. Maybe even pop it up on a little bit of foam tape and then put it right there. Yeah, I like that better than the little purple scallop that we had. And now let's work on our journaling over here. So I did find a mat card in my stash. I was looking for something green and kind of on the brighter side, and I found this one. It's not a perfect match, but I'm okay with that because it is a perfect fit. And it's going to go right there. It's going to give me plenty of room to talk about my story and how this was the last time we carved pumpkins. And let's see, reach back into my tray here and maybe bring in a spider web. And maybe put that right about here, or I could put it down here as well. Well, let's see what else we're going to bring in before we make that decision. So back to the sticker sheet. I am, like I said, running out of things, but what is great about this collection is I also have the digital art kit But I want to keep this simple, and I don't really want to be printing on my Cricut right now, or else it's not going to be so simple for me. So I'm going to bring in a piece of this icon paper because there is a lot on here that we can cut out. We can cut out some candies and of course the jack-o'-lanterns, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come in here and fussy cut out this jack-o'-lantern right here. Let me cut it out first. I've used this paper on other layouts, so I'm okay with cutting into this little scrap to fussy cut this out. Coming to the edge right there is a little bit tricky. And it has this one little piece of candy hanging over the edge, but I think that's going to be okay. And there we go. I'm not the best fussy cutter, but I like that. And I think I'm going to put it up here somewhere. Yeah, maybe we'll just decorate on the side. So I'm going to go over like that. Yeah, that's pretty cute. Brings in more jack-o'-lanterns, and the design and the papers match because it came from the same collection. Then I also brought in a scrap of this paper, and it has all these little ghosts. I ran out of ghosts on my sheet a while ago, but I love this, and so I'm gonna pick a little ghost here, and I can fussy cut all these out maybe later, but for now I'm gonna focus in on this guy right here and see if we can get him cut out. And there we go. Super cute. Yeah, the paper in this collection has a lot to offer as far as making our own embellishments. So let's see, maybe we'll bring the ghost. I took all the time to cut that, but let's tuck the ghost maybe coming out. Let's see, move this. Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna go back to the sticker sheet where I just ripped this little banner sticker off, but I'm kind of wondering if I can come down here and kind of have it hanging like that and say the word boo. Yeah, that's looking pretty cute over there. And you know what? I think that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to get this adhered down, but I do want to come back and just do a couple minor finishing touches. So if you'd hold on while I'm adhering down, I would appreciate it. But I would also like to take this opportunity to ask you to please click that like button. And while you do that, I'll be adhering and back with a few minor finishing touches. Hold on. There we go. I'm loving my clusters. I'm keeping it small. I feel like I have a lot going on up here as well. And we can't forget that we did take the time to create that border as well. So we got to, you know, keep that in mind, that that packs a big punch on our page and acts as another embellishment area. But I did want to come back in and do a few finishing touches. And I think I'm going to go with some of the stars. The stars are little, so I kind of, when I come back in with the finishing touches, I'm going for some more smaller items. And so I'm going to take a star. I think I'm going to put over here, add some more purple and a little pop of green over there. Yeah, I like that. And then over here, well, since we have the candy bucket, let's see if we could use a few pieces of these candies. Let's see. I'll put that on gently. There's one more. There we go. There, something like that. That's kind of cute. Like it's just falling out of the bucket there. And then some of the stars. Let's see. Probably want to stick to maybe the orange and green on the inside, only because if I put it up here on the card, you're not going to see it that well. So maybe like that one and another one could come like that. Yeah, I like that. Well, there you go. This wraps up our series of Keeping It Simple Halloween edition. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you're inspired to use those simple sketches and let's get some pages done. I feel like I caught up a lot on my Halloween photos during this session, so I feel really happy about that. and I hope that you get some done too. So until next time, everybody, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.